Good morning, students. So, we are going to start with the reading of the chapter Law Spring. So, the first article about Sahib Alam. Why don't you do this? Why do you do this? I asked Sahib. I stand for the narrator. Anis Jung, she asked Sahib, whom I encounter. Every encounter means come face to face. To meet face to face. Morning, scrounging, searching out for gold in garbage dumps of my neighborhood. There was a garbage dump near my house. So when I saw Sahib there searching for gold, gold means something precious, searching for gold. So I asked him, why do you do this? Why are you doing this? Sahib left his home long ago. The basic homeland, they have left it set amidst the green fields of Dhaka. His house, his city was in Dhaka. His home is not even a distant memory. He even doesn't remember that. Doesn't have even any mark of that in his mind. There were many storms that swept away their fields and home. There were natural disasters, and because of those natural disasters, his home and field were all destroyed. His mother tells him. All these things were told to him by his mother. That's why they left, looking for gold in the big city where he now lives. Now they shifted to, I told you yesterday, they shifted to Delhi and living in Simapuri nearby. I have nothing else to do, he muttered. He spoke in a very low tone, just whispering. I don't have any other task to do, looking away. He was not able to make eye contact. Go to school, I say glibly, just making fun, not seriously, realizing immediately. But I then realize how hollow means without any base, the advice must sound. This is a useless advice, I think so. There is no school in my neighborhood. So how should I go to school? There is no school. When they build one, I will go. I will definitely go there when they will prepare a school. If I start a school, will you come? The narrator asked, half joking, just making fun, that if I start a school, will you come? Yes, he says, smiling broadly. He was very happy. A few days later, I see him running up to me. After a few days, I saw that he was coming to me running. Is your school ready? Because he doesn't know it takes time to make a school. It takes longer to build a school, I say, embarrassed. I was shameful, embarrassed at having made a promise, that I made such a useless promise that was not meant, that was having no meaning. The promise is not going to be fulfilled. But promises like mine, but I am not the only one. There are so many other promises made by the people in their bleak world. Bleak is dark world. People just used to make promises to these poor people and do nothing. Same was my promise, I think. So after months of knowing him, I asked him his name. After so many days, one day I asked him, what is your name? Sahib Alam, he announces. He doesn't know what it means. He doesn't know the meaning of his name. All of us, we know what is the meaning of my name, what is the meaning of your name, Sahib Alam. And if he knew its meaning, and it is ironical, if he comes to know about the meaning of his name, Lord of the Universe, he would have a hard time believing it. He would not be able to believe that. No. Unaware of what his name represents. He doesn't know the meaning. He roams, but the Lord of Universe roams, moves about the streets with his friends, an army of barefoot. What is the friend? What are their friends? They are like an army, 15 or 20 boys, barefoot, without any slipper or chappal, moving here and there, who appear like the morning birds. They appear like morning birds because you must have seen they used to come in the morning, early morning, picking up the garbage near about your houses. Over the months, I have come to recognize each other. I have seen them so many times. Now I recognize almost each and every one. Why aren't you wearing chappals? One day I asked him, one of the boys, why don't you wear the chappal? My mother did not bring them down from the shelf, he answers. My mother don't give that chapel to me because she is afraid I will definitely lose it somewhere. Even if she did, he will throw them off. Another boy added something, that if his mother gives him the slippers, he will throw it away because he is not in the habit of wearing those chapel. Who is wearing shoes that don't match? The boy himself was wearing unmatched, different shoes. When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. I want shoes. When I saw you are wearing different type of shoes, one shoe is different from the other, he was embarrassed. insulted he felt, and he was shifting his feet. So I want shoes. Say a third boy who has never owned a pair of all his life. They are not able to afford a pair of shoes throughout the life. Traveling across the country, I have just seen children walking barefoot. Maybe it was a tradition sometime. Even nowadays, in typical Brahman families, people don't wear the chappal inside the house. They remove the slippers outside the main gate. So but nowadays we are wearing the slipper everywhere, even in kitchen, in bedroom, in toilet, everywhere. But that was maybe a custom. So I have seen so many people roaming about without chappal in cities, on village roads. It is not lack of money, but a tradition to stay barefoot is an explanation. I wonder if this is an excuse, just we can say, to explain away a perpetual state of poverty, or it's a type just to hide the poverty that they are not able to afford that. I remember a story. Now before moving to the next,